Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. We're here for interior linemen. As always, this is the All We Do Is Talk podcast. I'm here with Moody and Isaiah. How we doing today, guys?
What's good, y'all? How y'all doing today? Welcome.
We got
We're about to
we
talk
got
about
one
some.
more. We got one more topic for the trench life to get these big boys their flowers, what they need, the run stuffers, the underrated heroes of a defense, the big boys, the D tackles.
Guys whose job is it to just be big and take up space. Can you imagine if that was just your job? Tough. Hey, if it pays millions, I do. Too bad I wasn't built for it. All right, Moody, you want to kick us off?
All right, yeah, I'll go with my honorable mention, Mr. Christian Wilkins from Miami. He had a little bit of a breakout season last year. I think that he's getting more comfortable playing that move kind of D tackle, DN role that he's been playing in Miami in their complicated system. I'm excited to see what he does in year 3. I think year 3, year 4. I can't remember where he's at, but
Year,
he looks like he's
year five. I mean, year four. Year
Year
four.
4. He's on
Year
the upside.
four. Because him and Dexter Lawrence were on the same Clemson team.
All right. And number 10, my first New York Giant to make a top 10 list for me, Mr. Leonard Williams. Been one of the most productive D tackles for the last 5-6 years. He's just consistent in his numbers. He's going to get you 5 to 8 sacks. He's going to got lots of tackles, run stuffs in the run game. He just isn't as good as what they're paying, but he's still a really, really good defensive tackle. At number 9, I got Kenny Clark. He's been consistently one of the best D tackles in the game for a long time, but I think age and wear and tear starting to catch up with him a little bit, which is why he's a little bit lower on this list. He only had 6 tackles for loss last year. Low number for him, but he's still really, really good, really, really strong. And now that Green Bay has more talent at defensive line, maybe less snaps will make it better for him. At number 8, I got Grady Jarrett, another guy who had a down season last year, probably because of age and wear and tear. He also had little to no help on that Falcons defensive line for pretty much his entire career at this point. Could have been the Super Bowl MVP if things had broken the right way. You hate to see it. It's tough, but
Damn, we keep talking about Super Bowl 51. It comes up every video.
We all remember it. It's hard not to think about it. At number 7, I got the man who likes to throw hands with his teammates on the sideline, Jonathan Allen. He's been one of the best pass rushing D tackles in the game. Probably not as good in the run game, but if you're an elite pass rushing defensive tackle, you're worth more than enough money. He's already been paid. He's a stalwart in that front 7, and a reason why people have been overrating the Washington football team for the last 3 years. And at number 6, I got Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. Mike Vrabel really turned him into a stud weapon. Big season last year, 8.5 sacks. I expect him to continue to be on the upswing. He survived that torn ACL just fine, and he looks like he's ready to be one of the top 2 or 3 D tackles in the game going forward.
Wasn't it an Achilles? It was an Achilles injury.
Was it Achilles? Either way, he came back early from it, and he's been dominant since he showed up on the field. So I'll go through that again. Leonard Williams, Kenny Clark, Grady Jarrett, Jonathan Allen, and Jeffrey Simmons.
I thought we would all have about the same consensus top 10, and every person that Moody just listed is in my list. So I'm going to go ahead and knock mine out because I got a lot of the same names, a lot of the same talking points. I got 2 honorable mentions. I'm going to be greedy. I've got Rand Williams. I don't know if he was sneaky, amazing for the Jets. I think he has one more step to take before he becomes Pro Bowl level, but he's on his way to be there. He's a pretty dominant player. And I got another Cincinnati Bengals. I think it's one of the more underrated players on his team, Mr. DJ Reader. If you check his advanced stats, he was responsible for that turnaround in the Cincinnati run defense. Because if you remember the year prior or a couple years prior, Lamar Jackson kind of won an MVP running on that defense, changed life for that Cincinnati Bengals run defense, and he opened up space for those pass rushers, Hubbard and Hendrickson. DJ Reader, if you look at his numbers, he was great.
That's a great
people
day.
struggled to run the ball
Reader's
against him.
a great
Just watch the Super Bowl. So Quinn Williams and DJ Reader were the guys who just missed out. I wish I could have put him in, but I think it's a consensus top 10 of who gets the job in the interior. At 10, I got Kenny Clark. Like Moody said, great player. Dropped off. People thought he looked like he was shooting to the moon, and he plateaued out, but he's still great at what he does. At number 9, Mr. Hands sight with his teammate, Jonathan Allen, the better version of the Alabama wall there in D.C. I think he's a great player. I think he's a top 10 defensive tackle. I think he's good better pass rusher than run stuffer, but really powerful, strong. He does the job. It'll be interesting to see what they do because it looks like they're going to move towards another defensive tackle and move away from his teammate that he was trying to fight on said Sunday Night Football game. But we'll see how that works out. At number 8, I've got Leonard Williams, another guy he's become consistent when he is. He's the top 5 to 10. I mean, top 10 to 5 defensive tackle. Had that great year. We had 12.5 sacks on the contract. He's more of a 5 to 8 sack, like Moody said, though, but he's elite against the line, and he's one of the best 2 gappers in the NFL. Seattle a couple years ago, he was amazing. Single-handedly kind of won that game. Number 7, I've got Grady Jarrett. Great player. Don't know how great he is because he's like the only good defensive player on his team. We know he's good. We don't know how good because he has no help. And at number 6, I've got Vita Vea, who's probably the best nose tackle in the NFL. I like my guy Dexter Lawrence. We'll talk about him later. But Vita Vea has proven, helped that team win the Super Bowl, opens up space for those linebackers, Levante David, Devin White. I'm sure we'll talk about them later. But Vita Vea, great player, the best at what he does in the NFL. So my 10 through 6 are Kenny Clark, Jonathan Allen, Leonard Williams, Grady Jarrett, Vita Vea.
Not bad. Not bad.
I love the DJ Reader name. I just got to give you a shout out for that one. I totally blanked on him. He's been really, really good for Cincinnati.
And he was getting Houston the year prior. Yeah.
Definitely. Big time pickup for them.
All right. So my honorable mention, I had Christian Wilkins. He's also going to be later in my thing, but carrying on. Number 10, I got Fletcher Cox. I just think he's been a staple in Philly. I think he deserves to be on a top 10 list. So he squeaks in at number 10. Number 9, I had Leonard Williams as well. I'm just going to keep going because y'all have already talked about. Number 8, I had Kenny Clark. Number 7, I had Jeffrey Simmons from the Tennessee Titans. I think he's really good for what they do in that offense, that defense. Sheesh. And then number 6, I got Vita Vea.
All right, so a lot of the same names. Going through there. All right, so I'll go ahead and round out my top 5. Number 5, Vita Vea. I think we are 5'6". That's basically where he belongs. Not quite the productive pass rusher as some of the top guys, but we know what he does in the run game. We know how he opens up Levante David and Devin White. He's fantastic. And number 4, I got DeForest Buckner. Big time trade for the Indianapolis Colts. He's a big part of turning around that defense. He's been a staple in that cover 2 shell they've been playing for the last couple of years. I'm excited to see him get even more pass rush opportunities. 7 sacks last year. You expect him to continue to be a productive player who can move up and down the defensive line. Part of that amazing 2016 draft class. And number 3, I got Cameron Hayward. Cameron Hayward, he just keeps getting better with age. 90 tackles for a defensive tackle is Aaron Donald territory. It's absurd. He's an elite run stuffer. Added on 10 sacks on top of his production last year. He's 15 tackles for loss, 10 pass breakups. You name a stat, he was top 2 or 3 in it. That's how good he is. Pittsburgh's defense, we know what that represents. Cam Hayward is the leader of that group, even if TJ Watt's the more talented player. Cam Hayward's the veteran leader of that team. At number 2, I got Chris Jones. Slow start last year because they had him playing out of position at defensive end, but we saw once they moved him to defensive tackle, suddenly they had a good defense again. The only thing he has to do is learn how to tackle Joe Burrow. That's all he has to do. But everything else, Chris Jones is elite at. And at number 1, Aaron Donald.
Yep, sounds about right.
Let me go round out my list because it was a consensus top 10. It was a consensus who was in the top 10 of defensive tackles. At 5, I've got Cam Hayward. I disrespected him last year in our interior defensive line rankings.
He went out. You played him.
And so he went out and had the best season of his career. He must have known his brother needed to get drafted, so he had to up his value to your organization. That's all I got to say about that. At number 4, I have Jeffrey Simmons, a guy that wasn't supposed to play his rookie year because of a devastating injury, but played the whole season practically. So, I mean, and just gotten better and better and better. I think he's the most well-rounded defensive interior presence in the NFL, not named Aaron Donald. And I think he's a better run stuffer than Aaron Donald because he's got a little bit more size to him. So I'm not going to say it. If there's a guy who could jump Aaron Donald, if I'm going to pick a guy on this list who could rival Aaron Donald, I would buy stock in Jeffrey Simmons. I think he's going to be great this year. And number 3, I have Chris Jones, and that's only because I saw him get embarrassed by Joe Burrow in the playoffs, and it looked like it happened on 5 occasions. In that one moment, he has to get that man down.
And he's the reason Tom Brady went to another Super Bowl.
No, that's his teammate D
That's
Ford.
D Ford. That's D Ford.
But former teammate D Ford. Chris Jones, great player. I thought the versatility was going to get shown last year. I feel like if you put Aaron Donald, if they made Aaron Donald do what they had Chris Jones doing last year, we wouldn't have had no problems. He kind of fell off and went MIA for a little. Number 2, I have DeForest Buckner. I've been a fan of his since he came out of Oregon. I don't know how he lost out to Armstead in San Francisco. And if you look, San Francisco had to rebuild their defense, and they had a little bit of a down year the first year without him. And Indianapolis has been a top 10 defense since they got him. That says your value, everything you need to know right there. He's one of the best pass rushers, can do some outside stuff, freakish size, prototype for the defensive tackle in the modern NFL. And at number 1, Aaron Donald. Carry on should have been the Super Bowl MVP for being real, but he doesn't play offense, so he's going to be 3rd at best.
Yeah, awesome. So, we have a consensus. Number 5, I have Mr. Hands, Senior Hands, Jonathan Allen. Number 4, I have Chris Jones. Number 3, I have Cameron Hayward. Number 2, I have DeForest Buckner. And then that bad man who got woken up in the Super Bowl because the Bengals offensive line had to talk shit. And then he said, bet, I'm coming.
They said you ain't doing. You wasn't. Hey, bro, that was a nice first half you had, Aaron. You really ain't do nothing. I thought you was Aaron Donald. They said we thought you was Aaron Donald.
He's probably the best defensive player ever. Like, I know our resident Giants fan here will say Lawrence Taylor.
Deion Sanders, Lawrence Taylor.
He's well in the conversation. He's on the short list of
great. He's on the short list. He's on the short list. Now he's got. Hey, Sanders got 2 or 3 championships. Taylor got 2. If you want to start ranking up to that level, now you gotta have some. Now you gotta bring stats, DPOIs, and championships. But he's on his way. Who's to say he won't win some more championships? But like I said, consensus top 10. Everybody had the same 10 players in their top 10.
Yeah. All right, I'll go ahead and move forward with my breakout and rookie. For breakout, I'm gonna go with Christian Barmore with the New England Patriots. He had a decent year last year. In that Bill Belichick scheme, I'm expecting him to pop off. He's been playing in that scheme with the Alabama, Nick Saban, Bill Belichick scheme for years now. I'm expecting in year 2, a little off-season weight gain to get his body strong enough to handle the full-time duties. He's going to be a monster next year. I fully expect him to be one of the best players in the league, the best D tackles in the game. And for best rookie, I'm going to go with Travis Jones in Baltimore over Jordan Davis. I know he just got hurt today. He's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks. I'm going to hope he can bounce back from that and still be a staple in the Baltimore defensive line group. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Travis Jones. Hopefully he can bounce back with his health.
From UConn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Moody was smart enough to grab Christian Barmore as his breakout star, so I'm going to have to go Homer and go with Dexter Lawrence. I think he's looking at my Kenny Clark 10 spot, and he's coming forward. What a lot of people haven't realized that Dexter Lawrence is actually a better pass rusher than he is run stuffer, surprisingly. And they got him playing that 3-4 technique in the Wink Martindale system where guys are going to be scheming around. He's just going to have to eat space and push the pocket and use his quickness. I think he's going to show people how good of a pass rusher he is. And I'm going to pick him to have 7+ sacks this year. That's my bold prediction right there. And my rookie is Jordan Davis.
Why wouldn't it be?
Eric said Fletcher Cox. I said there's a reason they went and got this guy. It's because they're moving out Fletcher
on that team now.
Yeah, Fletcher Cox is the 3rd. So like they're moving. He's coming in. He's gonna have to come in when the other guys get tired now. Because Jordan Davis, Javon Hargrave, another guy who could have been on this list. That the Eagles know what they're doing in the defensive line. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I'm going Christian Wilkins as my breakout. I think after this year, he's going to be on this list. I think he was what Moody's honorable mention. He wasn't on your list, Isaiah, right?
I chose Dexter Lawrence. They're from the same class. They're from in the same year.
Yeah.
It's now or never for both. It's now or never for either of them, really. Both got their fifth option picked up by new regimes. They're literally in the same situation. Like, it's just now or never for them. They want to get their
You can
bag.
go with either name.
Yeah, and then my rookie, I have the other Georgia boy. I have Devontae Wyatt. The man is 304 pounds and runs a 4.7. That is ridiculous.
Almost as good as Jordan Davis running a 4.7 at 360. But
Almost.
Yeah, I mean, Trayvon Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Jordan Davis.
That's how you win a national championship. That's how you win a national championship.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, share, interact. Blow us up. We are going to get
Appreciate
there.
these big boys. Appreciate these big fellas. That's what we need. We need appreciation. We need flowers for these guys who are holding it down for your edge rushers, for your linebackers, for your DBs. Give the D tackle some love.
All right. Catch y'all next time.